Who's liked it? They're frightened. Oh shit, I think I've lost my key for the cupboard in there. Just give me a second, please.
Oh shit, he's gonna come on? Oh no. Shit. No.
I know it's not.
Got it. Okay, Angus, stop picking your plooks and take it away, please. There's lots more to see tonight. Right. Let's get going, shall we? Oh, have we got everyone? No one's missing any friends or family, is there? I hate to jump to conclusions. I learned that the hard way when I buried that hamster. Right, okay. So we're all back on board the bus, safe and sound. Yes, something's going on upstairs, yes. Settle down now, ghost hunters. So, thank you all so much for joining me in the haunted graveyard. That is the only walking section of this tour. We will not be getting off the bus again tonight. So that was your only chance to escape. Brave Dave, yes. So did you get any spooky photographs or anything in the graveyard? Did you? Let us know if you did, because I hope you only get any photographs of me with that flask in my hand. You don't think I can do this sober, do you? Did anyone see any rats? Did you see any rats in there, Keith? I can't stand rats. That's my worst fear, rats. Let's check in with my other worst fear. Angus, how you getting on? Well, he sounds upset, doesn't he? What's wrong, Angus? Angus.
I didn't mean to kill him.
Well, he's a bloody weirdo, isn't he? Let's switch him off. I'm very sorry about this driver. The tag came off his ankle last Thursday, so coming up on the left-hand side is a pub named after her, Maggie Dixon's pub. There it is on the left-hand side now. Burke and Hare, the serial killers, used that pub to find some of their murder victims. And 10,000 people would gather in this square to watch the grisly executions. They'd bring the kids, bring a wee picnic, have a nice family day out. Well, they didn't have X Factor in those days, they had to do something else to amuse themselves. So onward we go to more sinister things, because coming up on the right hand side here is a big grey wall. It's the outer wall of Greyfriars Kirkyard, the most haunted graveyard on earth. Seriously, there have been more documented cases of paranormal activity inside that graveyard than anywhere else on... I'm going upstairs. I'm telling you, people just wander onto this bus all the time. We should get a door put on this place. Well, they think we serve food and drink on here, so they just wander on. A woman came on the other night and she just sat down and she said, I want Toad in the hole, I want Toad in the hole. Luckily I had pointy shoes on at the time, so she got what she was wanting. Now, on the left-hand side, right-hand side, we've got a spooky graveyard. Greyfriars Kirkyard lies behind all these buildings and shops on the right-hand side. Now, it's a very dangerous graveyard behind all those buildings and shops. And I'll tell you about its reputation in just a few moments, but coming up on the left-hand side, it's something to cheer us all up. It's a statue of a dog, Greyfriars Bobby. So at the end of these railings on the left-hand side, we're going to see the statue of this wee dog, Greyfriars Bobby. There he is on the left-hand side now, Greyfriars Bobby. You must have seen the Disney film Greyfriars Bobby, surely. Well, that wee dog sat inside the graveyard every day for 14 years, guarding his dead master's grave. Isn't that a lovely story? That's dedication, as Roy Castle used to say. But I want to tell you a wee bit more about the sinister side of that graveyard. Now, the graveyard continues on the right-hand side behind all these buildings that snake round this corner here. If anyone on board the bus tonight is a tourist or a visitor to Edinburgh, and you're thinking of maybe visiting Greyfriars Kirkyard, I've got a couple of things to say to you. First of all, it's a great place to visit. It's fascinating. It's very, very old and historical. But try and go there during the day if you can. Because after dark, strange things happen in that graveyard. It's got a reputation. Now, all of the hauntings in Greyfriars are connected to one man, George Mackenzie, also known as Bloody Mackenzie. He was a judge, very cruel man. And he turned the graveyard hundreds of years ago into a horrible, hellish prison. Hundreds of men died inside the prison graveyard in terrible ways by execution, maltreatment, starvation. And Bloody George Mackenzie himself is also buried in a tomb inside Greyfriars Kirkyard. Now, because of all that suffering and the presence of this evil man, the graveyard is a very dangerous place. So if anyone on board this bus tonight is planning a visit, please be careful. Over the last few years, over 100 people have been knocked unconscious in there by some unseen, evil force. This is all I need, isn't it? What the hell's going on down here? Ladies and gentlemen, there's obviously someone on board the bus with us tonight. Now, he's actually not some random weirdo off the streets. I know who this is. This is Terence. He's a psychic investigator, and he's been sent here to explore any kind of paranormal things, although he's the most paranormal thing I've seen tonight so far. But strange things do happen on board this bus. People see shadows moving on the screens when there's no one there. People talk about curtains blowing on their own when there's no breeze. Yes, just like this curtain attacking this lady in the back! Oh my God, don't just sit there! Anyone give Ed Fielding's phone number? We spend a lot of money on these special effects. You do look quite scared though, don't you? Yes. That was just a demonstration, like a kind of crime watch reconstruction with curtains. But watch out for that kind of thing, because it does happen. And people have shown me scratch marks on their body that they swear they didn't have when they got on this bus. Don't worry, I won't demonstrate that one on you. You're okay, you're okay. Right, so that's why this strange character is creeping round the bus tonight. This Terence character. He's here to watch all this kind of stuff. Maybe write it down in a notepad or something. Although you gave me a start banging about like that. I didn't know you'd started yet. It's my first day. Alright. It talks as well, isn't that nice? Well, it's nice to have you on board, and I feel a lot safer knowing that he's here. I don't know about you ladies, but I certainly feel a lot safer knowing he's here. So let's continue with our ghostly sightseeing tour, Terence, because coming up on the left-hand side is a large glass-fronted theatre. The Festival Theatre on the left is haunted by the ghost of a famous magician. George Mackenzie, also known as Bloody Mackenzie. He was a judge. He turned the graveyard into a horrible, hellish prison. Hundreds of men died inside the graveyard prison by execution, maltreatment or starvation. That's why the place is so haunted. There's been so much suffering in that graveyard. And added to the fact that the evil Bloody Mackenzie is also buried in a tomb inside Greyfriars Kirkyard. So if anyone on board this bus tonight is planning a wee visit to Greyfriars, please be careful. Over the last few years, over 100 people have been knocked unconscious in that place by some unseen evil force. Alright, I'm going to have to act now, and I'm going to have to do something now. Can't have this. Yes, I'm very sorry about this, ladies and gentlemen. You did notice this person getting on the bus earlier on. Now don't panic. I know who he is. This chap's called Terence. Am I right? Yes, Terence? He's a psychic investigator, ladies and gentlemen. They've sent him here to investigate any strange goings on, any paranormal activity. Although he's about the most paranormal thing I've set eyes on tonight so far, wouldn't you agree? But people have seen strange things on board this bus. We get a lot of reports. We get reports of shadows moving on these television screens when there's no one there. We get reports of curtains blowing on their own when there's no breeze. Yes, just this curtain attacking this lady in the back! Oh my God, don't just sit there! Anyone get Vet Fielding's phone number? That was your moment to pounce there, Terence. That's what you're here for, yes? We spend a lot of money on these special effects, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see. That was obviously a kind of demonstration, like a kind of crime watch reconstruction with curtains. But that kind of thing does happen, so watch out for it. But that's why this strange character is here, ladies and gentlemen, this Terence person. He's here to watch all these goings on and then report back. Although my stomach went over you banging like that. I didn't know he'd started yet, Nick.
It's my first day.
Oh, it's his first day. Okay then, well let's give you something spooky to get your chops into then, Terence. Because we're going to turn left at the end of this road, and we're going to take the Fright Bus past a haunted theatre. Hand side is Hunter Square with the red telephone box. This is where they had all the whippings and floggings. They would nail your ear to the door of that church if you've been very, very naughty. So let's travel across North Bridge now, ghost hunters. Now there is a story about this bus that's quite disturbing, and it goes back to the 1960s. It's about the death of a young girl called Jenny. Ladies and gentlemen, everything's under control. There's absolutely nothing to worry about. That was just... There's nothing to worry about! I just told you there's nothing to worry about! What's he running about like a thing possessed for? I'm sorry about that loud noise, ladies and gentlemen. I think we had a kind of interference with the electrical system there. There's nothing to worry about. Although it's strange that should happen when I mentioned that girl Jenny. Anyway, never mind that. Let's have a look at Edinburgh Castle. Across the way on the left-hand side towards the back end of the bus, you can see the castle bathed in an orange glow. Now the castle is said to be haunted by the ghost of the phantom bagpipe player. He's trapped under the city streets, playing his piping music. So Steve, how are you getting on so far? Are you doing okay? Steve was very brave at the start of this. Are you starting to get a wee bit spooked?
Yeah, a little.
A little, yes. We're cracking, Steve, ladies and gentlemen. Don't get too scared, Steve. I'm not scared. I've got the heart of a lion. The lifetime ban from Edinburgh Zoo. They tried to find out what happened to the piper. They never discovered a body. They sealed up the tunnel and left him to die down there. That phantom piper is still under the streets of Edinburgh, playing his phantom pipes. Let's make a new friend. A new friend could be this lady in stripes here. Yes, what's your name?
I'm Martina.
Martina. Where are you from, Martina?
From Germany.
Martina's from Germany. Angus is thinking of going to Germany next year for his holidays, Martina. If he's not sectioned before that, let's see what happens. Martina, can I ask you a slightly personal question? Have you ever had a paranormal experience in your life, Martina?
Not yet.
Not yet. Well, in that case, what do you think of the phantom bagpipe player? Do you like bagpipes, Martina?
Yes.
Oh, you're joking. Oh, I can't stand bagpipes. That's one thing I can't. I thought we were going to be friends, Martina, but I'm going to have to move on swiftly as someone who likes bagpipes. I'm very sorry. Now, ladies and gentlemen, feel free to take photographs on board this bus, but examine them very carefully afterwards. Glowing orbs are often seen in pictures taken on board this tour, especially in the areas where the coffins were stored. If any of you take any pictures like that tonight, perhaps you could show them to me later on. Maybe we could get together. I'm free all night after this. Martina! Oh, she's blowing me a kiss. Oh my God. I've got all the Exorcists on DVD at home, Martina, if you fancy a wild night. I'll give it a paranormal experience. Right, we're going to move on to Calton Hill, which is over on the right-hand side. Steve, what do you think of my chances with Mattia there from Germany? Half and half. I need to try harder. She's a lovely lady and she smells gorgeous. I love tuna. So let's move on, shall we? Right, we're going to get going in just a second, ladies and gentlemen, because there's quite a few more things I want to show you tonight.
He's going to die.
Eh?
He's going to die.
Who's going to die?
The man upstairs.
What man upstairs?
It's going to happen soon. He doesn't actually know it yet.
Wait a minute, are you telling me somebody's going to die during this tour?
He's not going to die during the tour.
Well, what the hell are you worried about then? Sit there and look at the view.
Should we not warn him?
Well, we're talking into a microphone that's hooked up to 12 speakers, so I think he's probably got an idea of it by now.
I'll handle this.
Alright, you boys, take the microphone off me. Oh my God.
Good evening, ladies and gents. You all doing alright up here? Listen to that resounding yes. You all having a nice time?
Well, get lost then.
You all sitting very comfortably? Good. No kind of unusual aches or pains? No? No, that's good. That's what we want. We want a nice, quiet evening in together, don't we? They're quiet. That's good. That's exactly what we're going to have then. That's fine. I think we're all on the same team. Good. No, that's quite a help.
Oh, for God's sake, Terence, will you sit down and shut it, please? I've got enough on my plate tonight with Angus without you on the prowl. Okay, Angus, move off, please. I don't want to sit here all night long. And please stay away from Mattia, Terence. Stay away from Mattia. I'm going to see her later on. Wasn't that nice of Mattia to speak to me all the way from Germany? Some people are very, very shy, don't like answering questions. I don't like being asked questions myself. Joe, woman stopped me on Princess Street the other day with a clipboard asking me all these questions. What are you two laughing at? What is it? Come on, share the joke. Oh, I've had it tonight. I don't thank God the fringe is ending. Now, what about that loud noise? Let's investigate the loud noise, shall we? Let's have a look through the cameras. So we've got... these things signify. Some people think it's witchcraft. Some people think they're a tribute to the victims of Burke and Hare.
Hey, I'm getting something.
I know that man. Again, leave him in peace, please.
No, not the man. There's no hope for him. This is something else. I'm getting something from the other side.
Are you getting a wee psychic twinge, babe?
Aye, I can hear scratching.
Scratching?
Aye, scratching.
Well, that rat, the rat, the rat!
No, it's not the rat, the rat, the rat, the rat. This is more like a... more like I'm trapped. I can't get out. I'm trying to scratch my way out, but I can't get out. I'm stuck. Help me. Help me. Help me. Granny!
Granny? How many grannies do you know with a moustache? Don't answer that question, Terence.
Granny's trapped.
I know what he's talking about. You see, the dead bodies on this bus were actually kept downstairs where you girls are sitting just now. And the family of the deceased, they sat upstairs.
Where we are.
Now he's talking about a granny. Everybody loves grannies, don't they? I love my granny. My granny's 95 years of age now. Isn't that amazing? 95. She's completely bedridden. Every morning I take her in my arms and I carry her down the stairs so she can make my breakfast. But let's talk about a spooky granny. In 1963, an old spooky granny died in her sleep. They placed her coffin downstairs, her family upstairs. Off they went on this bus to the graveyard to bury that granny. Everything was going completely to plan until they started to hear a strange scratching sound over and over again. And they thought maybe it's branches on the roof of the bus, so they just ignored it and buried the granny as planned. But then the next day, the old lady's grandson said to the mother, "Mummy, why was Granny scratching in her coffin?" The family rushed to the graveyard, they dug up the coffin, they opened the lid. She was all twisted up into an agonising shape. Fingernail scratches on the coffin lid. They'd buried their own granny. Alive! But I think they've closed off the road on the left-hand side here. If you just bear with us, we're supposed to go left here for the playhouse. I'm not quite sure where this road takes us. Does anyone know any ghost stories? What about a wee sing-song? The wheels on the bus. Come on, Mattia, round and round, round. The bridge! The bridge is too low! Angus! Angus! And that's what you call acting, Mattia. Oh, thank you very much. They're easily impressed, this lot, aren't they? Is everyone okay? Yes? Apart from her that's in tears there. You okay?
Who's Jenny?
Why are you asking about Jenny?
Because I just heard a voice saying Jenny.
Where did you hear this?
Coming from one of the seats.
I knew this would happen. I warned them about this.
You warned them about what?
Listen, about 2 years ago now, we had a psychic on here. A young lassie about the same age as you. As soon as she got on this bus, she picked up the name Jenny out of thin air. She said, there's something no right about this. She started picking up information about this girl Jenny. You know how these psychics do on the television? She said this girl Jenny had been killed in a really violent murder. And her spirit, her ghost, whatever you call it, is trapped on board this bus. Now she looked me in the eyes and she said, it's one of the few spirits I've ever come across that can physically harm people. She said, be careful with this bus. Do this. She was only here about 20 minutes. She said, I can smell this strong perfume. And then she grabbed her neck. She said, I've got a pain round my neck. Her throat was cut. And then she saw something sitting in one of these seats. A dark figure. She approached it slowly. Like this. Mind you, she wasn't going round and roundabout when she was doing that. And I spoiled the moment there, didn't I? Right, so what's this man called here in checks?
Matt.
Matt, do you mind playing the part of the ghost and I'll be the psychic and we'll kind of show everyone what happened? Is that okay, Matt? Fantastic. So Matt's going to be the ghost, I'm going to be the psychic. Although I can't stand psychics. Honestly, never trust a psychic. I went out with a psychic once. Oh, are you? Anyway, so the ghost taps you, the psychic taps you, the ghost, on the shoulder. And then Matt turns round really evil looking, like he's going to do now. Well, we'll go with that, Matt, that'll do, yes. And it looked into her eyes, and it said, get out of my seat. Well, that'll do, won't it? That's what it said, get out of my seat. Now, I don't want to spook any of you lovely people, because I feel we're all friends now. But someone on board this bus tonight is sitting on that exact same seat. I'm not going to tell you which seat it was. That would spoil my fun. But I will tell you this. If you start to smell sweet perfume, if you get any pains round your neck, let me know and I'll stop the bus immediately because something bad could happen. Does everyone understand all that?
Sure, yep.
Yes? You don't sound too worried about it, do you? There's no air of panic really, is there? Well, don't worry, nothing's ever happened. Apart from that woman who got carried out in a plastic bag last week. Never even charged her 5 pence for that bag. Okay, Angus, let's head up the Royal Mile.
Can I tell them which seat it is?
No, you cannot tell them which seat it is. What did I just tell you?
I'm going to tell them which seat it is.
Do not tell them.
The seat that she was sitting in. Fantastic, now they're all around to see what you've done now.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is just a technical malfunction.
Oh, that's very, very funny how this only seems to happen when you say the name Jenny, isn't it?
Well, that's not my fault. Let's blame Matt for that. He was encouraging me. He said, act it out, didn't he? And what about Steve distracting me with his lovely ears again? I'll try and get the lights working. Oh my God.
Who's your friend?
Oh, what do you want, Angus? I'm in trouble.
You're not supposed to get people on halfway through.
No, it's alright, Angus. I'm here with the company.
It's with the company.
You've picked up another passenger.
What the hell are you talking about?
Never mind. I'm sure you'll find out.
Angus? Ladies and gentlemen, please ignore Angus. There's absolutely nothing to worry about. And we're going to continue on now to our final...
Oh my God, Angus! Angus, I can't take it anymore! Stop the bus! Stop the bus!
Right, I think I speak for all of us when I say I've had quite enough of this. We've got to do something about all this.
Yeah, we're going to do something. We're going to get the bus back to Waverley Bridge right now.
That's not what I mean, and you know it. I mean, we've got to do something about the situation on board the bus.
If you mean what I think you mean, then no. No, that's not safe.
The whole bus isn't safe.
But what about the passengers? I'm on a good thing with my Tia upstairs.
We could use them.
Use them.
They could help.
Okay then, let's try it then. Let's have a wee bash. Okay, Terence, prepare the bus. I don't know what he's going to do, but...
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I need you to follow my instructions nice and carefully. Firstly, we're going to close all the curtains.
Alright, we
the
better
bus.
close the curtains. Look, I'll help you. I said I'll help you, I'll not do it all myself. That's it, we're doing it downstairs, don't worry. Better, because he could easily lash out him.
Good.
Right, okay.
Now, there seems to be something on board the bus with us tonight, and we don't know what it is or what it wants. So we're going to try to communicate with it to find that out. We're going to have a séance.
A séance! Now that was worth coming out for. Are you up for a séance tonight? Yeah. The girls downstairs, are you up for a séance tonight? No, there's the door. Now don't worry about this séance. I'm sure the thing from the other side will be very nice and it'll pose for selfies and that kind of stuff.
It could also be something very evil which just wants to harm us, so I do need you to take this nice and seriously. And you're going to use all your senses tonight. I need you to keep your eyes peeled, and if you see anything strange,
apart from his face,
then let me know. Use your sense of smell, and of course listen out for any sudden loud bang. Right, that wasn't very funny, thanks very much. No, the séance I was at last week, a lady ended up with massive scratches down the back of her neck that weren't there when the séance began.
Oh!
And she thought she'd been crying during the séance, but when the lights came back on, her hanky was full of blood.
Ah!
Because she'd been bleeding out of her eyes.
Well, that's something to look forward to, isn't it?
And then her knees fell off.
Alright, we get the idea. Don't drag it out, for God's sake. Come on, I want to go home to my bed. So what do we do? Do we hold hands or something?
Exactly, we're going to create an energy field, and that starts with holding
Yeah, we're going to hold hands,
everyone.
girls. Come on.
Everyone hold hands now.
We're holding hands, yes. Hold hands. That's it, yes. So what do we do now? Hum.
Aye.
She's got the skeleton's hand. Yes, she's actually ripped it right off its body, but... That's it. Wave the hand, the skeleton hand. That's it, yes. Fantastic. So what do we do now, babe? Do we do is humming or something?
Aye, on the count of 3, nice and loudly, we're going to hum.
Going to hum.
1, 2, 3.
Hum! Spirit come through. give us a sign, throw something, bang something, make a noise. But oh, I don't like this. Spirit, if you mean us harm, then bang again. I think we're safe. I think it's a friendly spirit. Well, that's nice. Oh shit. Spirit, who are you? Why do you harm this bus? Why do you try and harm us? Are you one of the ghosts from the 1960s? Are you the girl Jenny? Terence, what's going on? Terence? Oh, I don't like it when he goes quiet. I knew he was a bloody weirdo. Is everyone holding hands upstairs? I've got a terrible pain round my neck. Steve, I've got a terrible pain round my neck. I'm going to go and phone for help. Remain in your seats and don't panic. Is everyone all right? Let's open up the curtains. Let's see where we are. We're almost back where we started and nobody died. How about that? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much. I'd like to thank Steve with the lovely ears and the lovely Mattia from Germany and Matt who played the ghost, and every single person was great fun. Thanks for joining in. Please do not have nightmares. We're going to drop you off here where we picked you up. If you've enjoyed yourself, your gratitude to the driver and myself would be appreciated. Now get the hell off my bus. Good night.